As I thought. I, Fionn McCool, shall test your strength.
Hello, Internet. I'm HamsterBomb.
And I'm Timothy.
And this is Demonica, your Shin Megami Tensei Demon Compendium, where we look at the real-life lore that influenced the designs behind the series' demons. Welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows where demons gather. I feel like I should have been saying this from the beginning. But anyway, Kim, did you know that today is a full moon?
No.
Well, it's technically not because we have to record this previously. But like when this goes up on Tuesday, it will be a full moon, 100% perfect, pristine full moon. So instead, I'm sorry everybody, this is an episode on Fafnir, not on Fionn McCool. Surprise, the fusion failed, Kim. She's not buying this at all.
No. No.
No. Okay. I actually told myself if we happened to get a full moon on April 1st, maybe I would pull something mean like that. And so I decided to look ahead and yeah, there's going to be a full moon next April 1st. So Kim, what religious, mythological, historical, fictional, cryptozoological character or concept will we actually be summoning tonight?
One of my new favorites now, Fionn McCool.
Fionn McCool, and as far as we're aware, neither of us really knew anything about that, but we'll get to that. Could we have a little bit of quick housekeeping again? And I know Kim has made fun of me off camera saying that housekeeping isn't supposed to be listing all the problems you had with the last episode, but I'm sorry, that's how I use this.
I wasn't making fun of you. I was just trying to guide you a better direction.
As I'd mentioned before, I'm always trying new audio stuff, and I found a really great equalizer so that even if we're talking quietly or really loud, it keeps it all leveled really nicely, and it's something really new that I've been working with. However, I didn't anticipate that it would make Kim's water bottle in the background super loud, and I'm sorry, but we remedied that. No water for us today. We are going to dehydrate ourselves for this episode.
We will take a break, inhale a lot of water. No, not drink. Inhale, and then continue. Where is your water?
I forgot mine too.
You just decided to not have water to remedy this issue.
I did. You couldn't have it. I couldn't either. Anyway, I wanted to mention a couple things that I said that were technically wrong. So I was speaking off of memory last time about SMT9. It was supposed to be an online RPG, but the single player was the only version that actually got finished, and that basically turned into like way too much for the developers to do, and since the game kind of flopped, it was just single player. But it was supposed to be an MMO, like I mentioned. Secondly, I didn't mention a weird sprite for Eligor last time because I thought it was a mistake. In Last Bible, he actually shares a sprite with Dullahan, funnily enough. So I was looking through the information and I saw the sprite was the same as Dullahan. I thought, this can't be right. I tried looking it up somewhere else later. I couldn't validate it and find out that it was true. Then I saw it in a different source saying that it was there. So yeah, that was a really weird connection between two episodes that they happened to share an exact same sprite. Not a color palette swap, the exact same sprite. It's the one that was roasting its head over a campfire with a stick. That was an Eligor sprite. Yeah.
It's also crazy that we had just reviewed Dullahan, too. It was a weird connection, weird synchronicity, I feel like.
Yeah, when does Dullahan ever come up? Anyway, with that out of the way, what do we first think of when we hear the name Fionn McCool? I think of that jerk who ambushed me in SMT5. Stupid thumb licker. I'll get to it. So basically, I don't, is what I was trying to say. Like,
yeah.
I was introduced to him in Shin Megami Tensei 5.
You told me about him maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah. So when we were planning the episodes,
yeah,
you were just
I don't even think I had seen him before that. I don't even know if I saw him then because we were driving, so I don't even know.
I had to convince Kim that this was going to be the right pick for F over characters like Fafnir. There's a lot of big ones that start with F, and Fionn McCool has really not been around very long, but he is a very popular demon.
See, it's funny that you were talking about the April Fool's thing with Fafnir, because I maybe could have BS'd my way through that.
Just made it up?
I know enough to BS my way through it a little bit.
Get through a whole episode? I
don't think I could produce enough content to get through a whole episode.
I couldn't. I would be so wrong. I'd be guessing my way through or forgetting what games
I'm saying is if it's a full moon for April Fools, just have a backup one that I know a lot about. Like Banshee or
No, I would want an actual well-researched
Mothman.
episode on all those. And here's the thing, I don't want to throw it off too much because we're doing the alphabetical order thing right now, and as we mentioned, we don't want to screw up our Halloween episode. Halloween will get a very Halloween-y character right after Halloween's over, so I think that's fine, but April Fools, if we just kind of wait, I think it'll work itself out. It's not like a huge day for demons. It just happens to be a full moon on April 1st. I felt like we have to have a fusion failure and something stupid happens. So let's first look at Fionn McCool as he appears in Shin Megami Tensei. Fionn appears as a boss and fusible demon in a grand total of 2 games.
Oh, now it's 2 because he's in Rido?
He's in Vengeance.
Oh, that does not count. That is the same game.
He's in 5 and Vengeance. So he was, you were right, added as DLC. He's not actually in the base game, but he is in Rido Remastered, alongside some other popular demons like Hayataro and Idun, who are from Shin Megami Tensei 5. They're in base Rido Remastered now. Fionn is not. You have to pay extra just to get him. And I don't know, I don't even feel like getting the DLC for that game's really worth it. But that's just...
As he runs out of things to do in Rido, and then we'll insist on buying it in like 3 weeks.
Maybe. I mean, I did run out of things to do. So she's got me there. But I'm also kind of bothered. I have fused every single demon in that game, and it says my completion percentage in the Gomeden is like 95% done, which is really bothering me if it seriously wanted me to buy my way to getting 100. That makes me a little mad. Lastly, he was also added in DX2, which is the gacha mobile game, because absolutely everything is in that game. If it has a 2D artwork, it is in this game. And that game kind of sucks. I don't know if I ever talked about it, but I hate it. I downloaded it twice and started over, and I'm like, I'm gonna suck it up. I'm gonna play this anyway. I hate gacha stuff. I hate the pay-to-loot boxy kind of crap, but I want to play it because I love Shin Megami Tensei. It's terrible.
It's the Pikmin Bloom loop all over again.
No, it's worse. Like, there's a story that you are forced to go through, and it sucks. And the gameplay, God, it's such a drag. And it's everything about it I hate. But there's Shin Megami Tensei demons in it. And,
I was just saying Pikmin Bloom because I like to download it once a year, just about, and then uninstall it like 2 months later.
Did you realize how bad it was?
Yeah.
You remember? Yeah.
It's like I have to remind myself.
A real problem with this was when I had re-downloaded DX2, it had deleted all of my data, so it didn't even have that on my phone for me to start, so I had to go through the story again. I was like, nah, man, I can't. I just got rid of it. Anyway, Fionn is certainly the demon with the least amount of appearances we have covered yet overall, but he's also one of the most popular. Last year, Atlas ran a popularity contest to determine everyone's favorite demons to add as navigators in Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, and Fionn McCool came in 3rd, barely making the cut to get added alongside the 1st and 2nd place winners, Mothman and Idun, respectively. In case you're missing out and haven't played SMT5, a navigator is a demon that follows you around in the overworld and points out items, shortcuts, and even demon ambushes. Each demon has a preference of what they find. Fionn McCool excels in finding items used in battle, like elemental gems, support items, and tools for healing. So basically, he stinks.
Okay.
He's not useful. No, what I have found with a navigator, I either want a ton of gemstones so I can turn them into incenses, or I want a ton of combat encounters so I can run into the Mitama. That's it. If you don't do one of those 2 things, you're a worthless navigator. Throw him in the garbage.
I was just getting really tired of listening to Cleopatra.
Cleopatra is, like, the best one for getting the gemstones if you're in canon of creation.
So I didn't play it. I'm just in the other room listening to her constantly saying something.
Yes. Whatever she says.
She's like, I want you or something.
I don't know.
Apologize.
Everything's seductive with her, if you could imagine. Now, technically, there were other winners of this popularity contest. The ones I mentioned were just the Western picks. The Japanese winners were Mara, Cleopatra, funnily enough, and Hellbiker, because nobody on the planet is more eccentric and horny than the Japanese. I didn't even get a pity laugh that time. Man, I'm striking out today.
What was I could do the pity laugh that our daughter does now.
Ha ha ha.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's insulting. Our daughter's 4.5, by the way, if we should make sure that we're clear.
She'll give you a pity laugh if you're looking for it.
Now, since this demon appears in SMT5 and has his own voiced lines, we chose to start this episode with a direct quote from Fionn rather than read his entire lore entry. So to make sure we've heard it, at least, it reads as follows.
The leader of the Fionn, warriors who protected High King Cormac of Ireland. He was born as a Dane, but due to his blonde hair and white skin, he soon came to be called Fionn, a name meaning golden hair. When training under the druid Fionn, he was ordered to cook the salmon of knowledge, and upon licking some of the salmon's fat from his thumb, he gained its knowledge. From that point on, it is said that Fionn could tap this knowledge any time he licked his thumb.
Kim just shook her head no the entire time I read that. What's bothering you? That is directly what it says. It's not like there's other instances of his quote or anything. It just came out in SMT5 and there it is.
Okay, well, they should have done a little bit more research. That is all I'm saying. Like, yes, the things are there. They're just in the wrong order.
Okay.
Or, like, not quite it. It's like knockoff Chinese Pokemon toys. Like, something's just not quite right about that text.
Those are really wrong, though. So, must be really messed up. We have to hold it off until your segment.
Well, okay. It's for the most part correct. If you know nothing about him, you'll get that information. Okay, I'm gonna go into the actual story of the thumb licking. We'll
sure,
go
but that
over
was
it when we get there.
That was one of the longest lore entries
It
we've
is
had
very
so
long.
far. So to be fair, with that much space for them to explain what's going on, I feel like I understand at least a base understanding of the character, and if it did that, then that's good enough. I'm sure your segment's longer, you know?
Yeah,
so.
my segment might be a little bit too long. I'm gonna apologize now. I think this episode's gonna run long.
Yeah, Check's watch, this might be our longest one. Even though this is a character who has appeared like twice.
Okay, but he's a very rich narrative character, and I am honestly shocked he has not been in an SMT before.
Yeah, from what Kim has told me, it's a little surprising we haven't had this guy.
But it also seems like they weren't really adding, like, human people as demons until SMT5.
No, there's a bunch that are kind of demigods and things like that.
Okay.
So funnily enough, originally the designers were actually going to have Fionn suck his thumb for knowledge, but they changed their mind to instead have Fionn appear more like a, quote, good-looking demon heartthrob. So sucking his thumb would kind of make him look like a big baby. So they decided he's going to kiss his thumb instead. So that's how he taps the salmon for knowledge. Also, when they say knowledge, this isn't meaning he gets smarter or anything. This is SMT5 biblically accurate forbidden fruit, Garden of Eden, capital K knowledge. Fionn even states when he licks his thumb, he gains power similar to the Nahabino, a pure fusion of this knowledge and its lost demon counterpart.
Okay, I mean, that's an SMT interpretation of it, so that makes sense.
Does that check out at all?
No.
Or is it just like he's smart now?
He's smart now.
Okay, he's smart now. Well, luckily in SMT, they could do more with the word knowledge, and it actually meant something when a single demon could actually fight against the Nahabino and kind of hold his own.
I mean, I understand it. That's why I'm saying, like, I will accept it.
Yeah, you fight him twice, and you don't kill him either time. So if he's able to hold his own against you both times, this guy's special. Now, I haven't been mentioning demons' clans or races as of yet because none of them have been particularly important, but I do want to point out that Fionn McCool is one of the Genma race, an extremely useful race of an exclusive few demons in Shin Megami Tensei 5 that have the special Magatsuhi Omagatoki skill Luck. This means that at the expense of your Magatsuhi gauge, Fionn can cast his skill Luck, which greatly increases the amount of experience and money earned at the end of battle, if combat ends on the very turn it is used. The skill is so incredibly useful, I refused to fuse my luck demons until I fused the next most powerful one to replace them. The element race also gets this skill and can be acquired very early on, and I highly recommend holding on to one until you can finally replace them with a Genma to help blast through levels. As for alignment, Fionn states that he wants to stay out of the whole race to the throne thing and instead sets off on a personal journey to find his king. Because of his indifference toward the recreation of the world, he's been given the alignment of neutrality.
I could either go neutrality or law. I'm leaning more towards law aligned, though, because he usually does work for a king. He is a guardian and a protector.
That's what Cerberus did.
Was he neutral too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not the one making the rules. That's usually what law is.
Okay, so yeah, that would be true, I think, for Fionn. Yeah, I guess I could get behind neutral.
His best stats are his strength and magic, but the rest of his stats are really high as well. In fact, he's so well-rounded that when you recruit him, his agility rises to match his magic stat. Now, whether it's in a boss fight or he's on your party, Fionn is weak to electricity, nulls fire, light, sleep, and seal. I also null sleep, in fact.
I don't think he should null sleep.
I null sleep. I'm not even getting pity laughs today. This is terrible.
I hope I'll get to the end. I think I've been so scorned by our daughter's pity laughs, I can't even do it now.
Wait, so that means you were doing it before? Every other laugh was a fake one? Oh, no.
I'm not good at fake laughing. I just stare at you blankly if you're not funny.
She does. That's why I had to point it out the last 2 times, because you can't pick up on her angry face of "that's not funny, Alex."
I try my best when he thinks he's funny to just stop talking, and, sometimes that makes a joke go on too long. It doesn't stop him.
Sometimes I'm telling a joke for me.
I know. I'm well aware of this.
So as a boss, he also resists the other status ailments because, of course, he does. Now, Fionn is first fought pretty early game, so when he starts coming at you with overpowered moves that totally outclass your own, he'll certainly leave a lasting impression. His unique move is Makaluin. Hopefully I said that right. I looked everywhere online for how to pronounce all these Irish things, and I could not find Makaluin.
I found it.
You found it?
McConluin.
There's no N there. McConluin?
McConluin.
Oh my goodness. Okay, his unique move is apparently McConluin, something I couldn't find a pronunciation for online, so forgive my poor Irish. I am doing my best and just taking Kim's word for this one.
Oh, it's gonna get so much worse when we get to mine.
Yeah, I'm sure. My ancestors would be ashamed of me.
You are Irish.
I know. Anyway, McConluin...
McConluin.
I tried. Is a severe physical attack that deals even greater damage if it lands a critical. If that sounds familiar, it's basically a physical version of the Nahabino's strongest move, Murakumo. This guy's packing an OP severe hitting move when you're just getting by with weak and medium hitting moves. The rest of his moveset consists of Dark Sword, an amazing physical attack that hits for 2 mediums and has a chance to inflict Seal, the ailment that basically stops you from playing the game. Pierce Armor, a weak physical strike that also doubles as a way to decrease your defense when it hits. Bufula, a medium ice attack to 1. Maragion, a medium fire attack to all. And lastly, Tarukaja, a way to buff his attack even higher. Now, if you rematch this boss in an optional encounter later in the game, he has improved skills to compensate, as well as some better stats to match your level. So expect those medium attacks to become heavies. He also picks up the devastating physical moves Fatal Sword and Deathbound because this boss wasn't dangerous enough. But as an ally, Fionn gets even better. He knows Hades Blast, a heavy physical to all. His elemental spells have become severe fire and ice to 1. He gets the worthless move Estoma, preventing encounters until the next new moon in a game where you can prevent encounters just by running away. More importantly, he learns Enduring Soul, one of the best skills in the game. If Fionn is ever knocked out, Enduring Soul will kick in, fully reviving him with full HP once per battle. He also gains the ability to null ice. Now, when I started Vengeance, I did so with all the carryover data from base SMT5, meaning I started the game with Shiva's essence, so I quickly inherited Shiva's affinities as my own. And I bring this up because I was also given Fionn McCool's essence and saved it all game until I could inherit all of his skills, nulling Ice, Shiva's only weakness, and getting Enduring Soul, making the Nahabino damn near impossible to kill with this 2 essence combo. Fortunately for us, Fionn got a great story integration in SMT5 for us to talk about. He can first be heard about by passing demons who warn you of a nearby demon who licks his thumb. This demon supposedly has been gathering humans during a segment of the game where you are tasked with tracking down and protecting the lost humans in Dot yourself. Eventually, you near a destroyed bridge where you get a close-up of a demon spying on you who then licks his thumb. What I love about this is that it's introducing a new demon to the series in a fun way that tests the player's knowledge of mythology. I failed this test, by the way. We first get a build-up of this demon's attributes, then a big reveal, assuming you were paying attention to what the other demons were saying. So anyway, Fionn McCool suddenly ambushes the party, challenging you with the quote we heard at the top of this episode.
I, Fionn McCool, shall test your strength.
Personally, I was relieved this part was voice acted because I certainly would not have pronounced his name that way.
Oh, you mean Fionn McCumhaill?
Cumhaill is how it's actually written, and you were probably thinking about that this entire time.
I just really wanted to say Cumhaill. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through my part without saying Cumhaill, but honestly, most of my script I just say Fionn.
Yeah, Fionn. Yeah, me too. McCool kind of works too if you keep
Finn.
the Mick. Yeah.
Finn is fine. He has a lot of variations on his name, like McCool, Cool.
McCool.
Yes. And most of the time his name is Finn. So seeing it as Fionn is kind of unique, I feel like.
Okay, like that's what he has to sign on the bank checks, but all his friends call him Finn.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on in Ireland where the word cool has turned into Cumhaill. Like, that's the coolest thing that they can imagine. I don't know. There's a lot of jokes that could be made there, and we're going to try our best to keep it clean and pretend that is not how his name is spelled.
But there's another character that I feel like goes along with it.
Yeah, Kim's going to discuss that later.
No, what if I just pronounce everything perfectly and I just breeze right over it?
Yeah, well, you need to let us know how it's spelled. I thought it was kind of important to mention.
I hope by this point you've looked at the title of the episode and see how it's spelled.
Yeah, if you weren't familiar with this demon, you're probably curious why they're talking about Mr. Cumhaill. I don't know why in Ireland the word cool is factually linked to semen raining from the sky.
It's not!
You can go outside, it's just cool. Oh, that would be disgusting. Anyway, after that chaotic boss fight where Fionn brings the hail, your party member Tao...
Stop. No!
Hey, I finally got her to laugh. Your party member Tao, the Megami who's gonna get Tensei'd, she steps in to stop the fight.
Why did you describe her like that?
Every game has
As
one.
a Megami that's gonna get Tensei'd, I'm sorry.
Whenever they introduce a female character, like, oh, there's the Megami, she's gonna get Tensei'd. If you're not sure how that translates to English, loosely Shin Megami Tensei is new reincarnation of the goddess, so it basically said, she's the goddess who's gonna get reincarnated.
I don't think you can say it like that, though, because you use those words in different contexts.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not gonna come out the same.
I'm sure. It's the accumulative of English, but if somebody was listening to it in Japanese and, like, understood what we were saying, they'd probably be just, like, vomiting into a bucket right now
The
because
Megami
of how much I
that's
screamed.
gonna get Tensei'd, okay.
But whatever, that's how Adun reads it over here, okay? Anyway, she steps in to stop the fight because apparently this was all a misunderstanding. That's right, she doesn't step in to stop this fight until it's over. It's even more egregious in SMT5 Vengeance when Tao is actually contributing to the fight in your party. She steps in and yells,
Stop, please!
Oh?
He's not a bad demon. He's my classmate.
to which Fionn aptly responds,
What does that mean?
So the situation gets de-escalated when you realize that Fionn was helping the humans find their way to the safety of the fairy village nearby and not hunting them for something.
You know, it's funny. We'll get into this later. I don't think Fionn would ever lead you to the Fae. Ever.
He's leading the humans to the Fae because at least they had like a sanctuary there, and everything else was pure chaos, and demons were trying to eat and kill humans.
Well, I'm just saying fairies like to screw him over a lot.
Sure, but at the same time, I could see him, from my understanding of this character, wanting to do the right thing and protect people who were suddenly spirited away out of the human world.
Sure,
and
but
the
that's
demon
usually
world.
the fairies' fault in the first place. If you're going for lore, not the Megami Tensei.
You know, now that you mention it, I'm not even sure whose fault it was. Basically, your school gets taken over by a bunch of demons. There's like a rift that opens up in Tokyo, and they go for the school first. And I don't know how the humans actually end up there. They just, like, you just go to the next area, and they're like, some of the humans need to be rounded up. And I never really thought, like, but who took them here and then let them go? You know, because they're not being hounded by demons when you find them. They're all hiding somewhere.
So Mr. Cumhaill did this?
Mr. Cumhaill, you think he set up the problem to rectify it so that he would get the praise for saving the humans? Oh, that's dirty.
I don't know.
That's as dirty as semen falling from the sky.
Stop.
So this crazy boss fight was a stupid misunderstanding on Fionn's part, and worsened by Tao not stepping up until the very end, until after her two husbandos fought to protect her from each other. She's quiet, giggling. That's absolutely what she did. She's standing there like, oh, the Nahabino and Fionn McCool.
She was basking in that.
Well, they're both trying to protect me.
She was basking in
She
this
totally
for a bit.
was, because Nahabino's trying to escort her and find the humans, and Fionn sees Nahabino and thinks that he's a demon who's taking Tao, so he jumps in to try and fight and protect Tao, and she's just all hot and bothered in the middle of this Cumhaill going on, and she can't decide on, which one's arm she needs to fling herself towards.
Every time you say Cumhaill, I imagine, like, Pokemon Stadium 2, and being like, Fionn has used Cumhaill, and then, like, the animation of just rain coming from the sky.
I don't know why you said Pokemon Stadium 2. My thought was the Chansey minigame where a bunch of eggs are falling down.
No! When I think of, like, field status effects, I think of that game for some reason, so I'm imagining the rain in that game.
It's just this white rain. So after Tao finally steps in and stops this fight, then Fionn has the nerve to blame you for the situation by saying,
I apologize for my hastiness. Although you can see how you played a part in it as well, I'm sure.
like, he ambushed us. We defended ourselves. I still like this character, by the way. So later on in the story, we meet up with Fionn Cumhaill once again to I actually read that on accident incorrectly.
Did you read that on accident?
That's a mistake.
I was about to start just writing it as McCool in my script, so I don't accidentally say Cumhaill.
I wondered if we could have gotten through the whole episode without even pointing out that his name is Cumhaill.
Oh, that is an absolute lie to yourself.
No, I kind of tried.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
What's the timestamp? 10 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, probably 10 minutes. That's pretty far.
That's pretty far
That's
if
pretty
you got
far.
10
I mean,
minutes.
come on, that's pretty far. Anyway, later in the story, we meet up with Fionn McCool once again on top of a mountain in Taito. After completing some side quests, you can re-challenge him to another encounter, whereupon winning, he comes to the conclusion that the Nahabino is the king he's been searching for. You will then unlock him for fusion as well as a navigator if you are playing Vengeance. While in your party, Fionn will ask you something interesting while in the Demon Haunt, a break area where you can converse with your party demons. Some exclusive demons have quests for you to begin if you speak with them in the Demon Haunt, and Fionn is one of these demons. Kim, it is time for your quiz question. Fionn McCool expresses the urge for you to help him meet his personal hero. Which of these demons is Fionn referring to? A. Dagda. B. Skahak. C. Satanta, or D. Cumhaill. These are all Irish.
I know. I'm going with Satanta.
Satanta? You're kind of right. I'm going to give you half points for that because Satanta is the younger version of Cumhaill, which is the right answer.
Right, but I felt like you would have known him as Satanta. Okay.
But his hero he wants to meet is Cumhaill.
You know,
I'm still going to give that to you. That was kind of me putting in the same character twice.
You did. It's funny because in my research, there was a whole webpage dedicated to who would win in a fight, Cumhaill or Fionn McCool, and they list all of the lore and they go into everything in depth about who would win. I did not read far enough to figure out who would win.
Oh, shoot! Come on now! I gotta know now!
I think it was Cumhaill.
I would probably say more lore is going to lean towards Cumhaill, but
I don't know now. I know so much about Fionn McCool. I don't.
Yeah, it depends. Is Fionn McCool sucking his thumb, biting it so hard it's in his mouth as he's trying to fight with his giant two-handed sword?
We'll get to the lore. He does not need to do that.
Oh, but in Shin Megami Tensei, if he can at a whim become on the level of a Nahabino, he's gonna win. So in Shin Megami Tensei lore, I feel like he gonna win that.
But if he does it once, he doesn't need to do it ever again.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
know.
like a it's not like Samus and he loses all his powers at the end of every battle.
Yeah, he takes his thumb out, or he loses the taste over time, like a freaking Laffy Taffy or something. What are those taffy candies where you chew on it, eventually you just chew on a gum?
Oh, the zebra stripes thing?
What? What's that?
Color stripes.
Like a now and later. You know, like a now and later is supposedly supposed to keep its flavor a long time, but it never does. It's just like a rock, you put it in your mouth, it eventually turns to taffy, and then it's just this tasteless gum.
Or like juicy fruit.
Juicy fruit. We're not sponsored by any of these things, by the way, so let's move on. So during this quest, you can bring Fionn to meet with his hero, Cumhaill, joined by his teacher. Kim, who's that?
Finnas.
You mean Skahak?
What? I actually never read. I was worried his narrative is so rich and deep that we were not going to like hit on the same stuff.
I'm sorry. The only thing I know about Skahak as a teacher for Cumhaill is she rewards him for completing his martial arts training with the gift of her thighs. And I'm sure it was rich and deep. Because Cumhaill got around. From what little I've read, he had lots of the sex.
But what I'm saying is there's just so many stories. There was no way I was possibly going to be able to read them all or hit on all of them to include in this episode.
Anyway, on to this quest, because it's really strange. The two of them challenge Fionn, and likewise the Nahabino, to gather 9 four-leaf clovers within 1 full cycle of the moon. Though there are 38 total to find, collecting them is quite complicated as there are many fairies scattered around the environment guarding the clovers that will put the Nahabino to sleep if they spot him, costing precious time as the moon phase progresses. Doing this successfully grants the Nahabino with the Eye of Balor, hopefully I said that one right, a multi-use item that casts a weak dark attack when used. I did look into it, Balor was a character. So
I know, but we didn't cover the same stories clearly, is what I'm finding out.
No, well, SMT decided to reference all sorts of weird stuff, but yeah, it was something that was relevant, and I thought, hey, maybe Kim will give us some information on that, but it's okay.
No, I'm going to talk about weirder things, actually.
I am looking forward to weird. I like not knowing whatever you're going to talk about each week.
I know, it's really hard when I'm trying to research and you're sitting next to me, because I just want to tell you all the weird stuff I found.
Yeah, she blurts some things out occasionally, and then I make a joke about it, and I'm like, great, now I can't make that joke in the episode.
But you probably will, because you forget things so quickly.
That's another superpower I have. I have null memory.
Well, I didn't get to hit on this when you were talking. I don't think... Wait, he null sleep? Yeah, I don't think he should null sleep.
Okay.
I'll get to it. Like, I can't elaborate on it because I don't want to...
It's like Cerberus nulling sleep or something with the honey cake situation.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
Sort of. We'll get to it. I just didn't get to mention it earlier, and I didn't want to forget about it.
Now finally, onto the design of Fionn McCool. Since he is basically only has this one design, this shouldn't be too bad. Fionn looks like a Celt through and through. Braided golden blonde hair, antlers on a small crown or headpiece, metal plates are woven into his clothes, covering his waist, where he has various belts, straps, and robes that are all loosely attached. Green tattoos lining his arms, legs, and face. And he holds a large, ornate, decorative two-handed sword, and possibly most notably, he wears a matching double cape made of patterned red on the top and purple on the underside. One cape is tied around his neck, while the other emerges from under his skirt. His shoes are also authentic-looking woven brown boots. In 3D and in his 2D art, Fionn is posed in a guard stance, holding his sword two-handed down at a 45-degree angle across his face, with his capes blowing in the wind. I can see him printed on body pillows already.
I'm sure he is.
You know, he might actually be. Should we check?
No.
Is it a fact check time?
It is not. We do not need to fact check
okay.
that.
All right.
Because we know it's true.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will dive into the lore of Fionn McCool. I did it. And we're back with more Demonica, and it is time to ask the question, Kim, who or what is Fionn McCool?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, you must have met Mr. Cumhaill.
Right. Let's get this correct. It's Mr. Cumhaill. No, for my sanity's sake, I'm probably going to just refer to him as Fionn most of the time.
Yes, please do.
Or Finn, if I say Finn.
I think people have got the joke already.
But also, I got really tired in the story of everybody being named like Finnegan, Finnegas, Fergus.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That Disney Channel show.
As we have already ascertained from what you have said, Fionn McCool is a hero from Irish folklore who led a group of warriors known as the Fianna. Together, they defended the shores of Ireland and Scotland from invaders. Accounts vary on if the Fianna was composed of thousands of men or just a small group of 12.
Oh, that's a big difference.
I know. I couldn't find an exact number.
It's like, is this Robin Hood's merry men or a literal army?
Right, I know.
How do you get that
I was
number
imagining like Robin Hood's merry men like the whole time, like that kind of group of bandit situation. They're not bandits, they're warriors.
Oh yeah, is that it?
Their stories in literature are referred to as the Finian cycle. So I found a lot through my research. Finian cycle kept coming up, but is just telling you that during this time in literature, they talked a lot about Fionn.
So this is just the particular arcs in his comic series where the Irish folktale stories. This is the Finian arc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. With that being said, for the most part, the stories during the Finian cycle are not considered true stories, but mostly legends.
I think we all safely assumed that.
These legends were passed down through oral tradition and then were written down in the 12th century. So relatively recently when they were written down. Not like our oldest character, but we don't know how long he is being passed down through oral tradition, which is going to happen with a lot more of those older characters, I guess. Before we dive into his adventures, if it helps to know a little bit more about what he looks like. I feel like you went into so much detail describing him for SMT, and I'm just gonna be like, he's a person.
Well, there's just one thing of artwork for him, and it's pretty detailed, and that's what he looks like. They didn't change anything after that, so like, all right, you get a good picture of what Fionn McCool looks like. That's
done.
I'm done.
So he's our first human demon?
No god blood in him whatsoever. Just a guy.
Just a guy.
Just a guy. Man, is he freaking strong.
He is. Fionn is usually depicted as a young male warrior with fair, light, or blonde hair, blue eyes, and light skin. And as you mentioned before, the old Irish name Fionn or Finn means white or bright colored. So makes sense.
Disney would cast a black guy for him in the new live-action Disney movie.
In what I've seen, because you were talking about the capes a lot, and I had seen some older art, it kind of reminds me of like the look of like a hobbit, and he's got like a green shawl cape thing over him, like walking through the forest and stuff like that.
Fionn does?
Mm-hmm. In some drawing depictions and things like that, leading his warriors. And then I saw a lot of bare-chested men.
So you enjoyed doing the research for this week.
It's like when I figured out, like, I didn't know the name Brawny for paper towels, and I just said the one with the strong guy on it.
She didn't read. I'm a little concerned.
I knew which one to buy.
Yeah, they certainly did some research and development, and they realized, hey, the wives seem to be doing the grocery shopping. Why don't we just put some big, sexy, buff guy on our paper towels? And, hey, profit. We don't have to do any more work. God, it worked. So why is Fionn not bare-chested? And I mean, look at Lamia. Look at Yaxini and...
Oh, no. I don't know. I mean, his descriptions vary from one thing to another, so it's not like he's always consistently described the same look, but he is always a white, blonde male with blue eyes. You know, like, very Celtic looking, as you said.
They clearly still wanted to make the sexy guy, whatever the quote was, I said before, some good-looking heartthrob is what I believe they said. So clearly just giving more validation to Tao being stuck between her two lover boys on either side as they're fighting and duking it out. Oh, for her heart.
She's on the wrong side. She should have let Fionn take down the Nahabino.
She waited till the last moment when she realized that the Nahabino was winning to step in and like, oh, hold on.
Hold up. We need this in our life. Now, I also want to talk about a few other traits that he's mentioned. It's not his physical traits, but things that he's typically seen with or holding or things like that.
Okay.
According to stories, there were 300 dogs that accompanied the Fianna.
So, hold on. If we're taking the 12 disciples as the literal, well, it could be as small as 12, then it was probably 12. So if it's 12, that means there's how many dogs per person? Just saying here.
There are 300 dogs.
That's ridiculous.
And that was the specific, I found a specific number for the dogs, but not for the people.
It's like 24 dogs. Trying to do
Sits here and does the math.
I'm trying to do that in my head.
Well, each man had 24 dogs.
Hold on. It's 25. I was close. It's 25 dogs.
Okay, now hold up. I'm about to pronounce some Irish here, so let me take a deep breath and think about this.
Has 25 dogs. Sorry, go ahead.
There were 2 dogs specifically that almost never left Fionn's side, Bran and Skeolan.
Where's his other allotted 23 dogs? Everyone has to pay their due.
Their names meaning Raven and Survivor. Interesting names.
Okay.
Bran, I've heard that in Irish before. Mm-hmm. Skeolan is really hard to say because it is spelled Sceolan.
Oh.
So pop quiz time.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Because I had to do a pop quiz about the dogs.
Your pop quiz should have been how many dogs per person. That would have been so funny.
Math lessons. Okay.
I would have been so close if I had gotten that.
No, this is even weirder. These dogs are related to Fionn by blood.
No!
How are they related to him? Are they his cousins?
Oh, no.
His siblings?
No.
Or his sons?
Oh, gross. They're all gross. You know, I'm going to assume that the sexy heartthrob didn't father these dog abominations himself, so they're not his sons. They are his, let's go with cousins.
You're correct!
Oh, thank
ding,
God.
ding, ding.
That's so gross.
Okay, so long...
So it wasn't his immediate family member who was doing it with a dog?
Okay, well, let me explain. This is all the Fae's fault again.
Oh, okay.
Long story short, a Fae, the She, as we've talked about.
The She?
Yeah, so there's a group of Fae called
Len and She.
Yes, so
Okay.
it's...
Like, we have a demon for that.
And now I know how to say the name. It's Lenon She.
Lenon She.
Lenon She.
So the one who is messing with the puzzle that she's trying to separate.
And standing on her hair.
And standing on her hair with her top cut way
She
down.
is part of some evil Fae organization over in Ireland. Just know that now.
I just wanted to make sure that people knew what we were talking about.
Yes, I was hoping you would describe her because I knew if I said the name Leon Shi, I would not picture the correct demon.
Yeah, no. I always saw that and I thought it was Lenon Shide.
Yeah, Lenon Shi turned. It's not specifically Lenon Shi. It's one of the Shi,
which is a race.
One of the Shi.
Right.
Yes.
It's like a species.
Turned his aunt into a dog. And then had 2 puppies. The curse for his aunt was broken, but the curse for the 2 pups couldn't be.
Why did his uncle keep having sex with her?
She was pregnant before she was turned into the dog.
How many puppies did she have?
Just 2.
Oh, right. I thought this was 30, his designated 25 dogs. And like, why did you keep having sex with the dog? No. It's like, oh no, my wife has been cursed and turned into a dog. I better make the most of it.
She got uncursed, but had the dogs while she was cursed.
Monty Python, I got better.
So this was his aunt. So his mom's
She just
sister.
got better? Like Monty Python, just got better?
No. There was some whole debacle with the Fae and having to appease them.
Oh, right. The
and
story arc I didn't read in Marvel.
it was very long. And
okay.
basically, the father of the puppies from before she was turned into a dog betrayed one of the Fae who was in love with him. And, you know, the Fae, they get their finicky and they cause mischief. So anyway, now Fionn has 2 cousin dogs.
But they aren't inherently cursed themselves. They just exist as a dog, and that's their life.
Yeah, the curse couldn't be broken for them. That's just...
Oh, so the curse, since it was inherited on them, it's like permanent, and that's just what they are?
They're just dogs now.
So they're dog first. So if you turned them into human, they would be cursed.
Yes, correct.
Human. I see. Does he talk to them? Can they, like, use a Ouija board?
Oh, it is said that they have human knowledge.
So you could give this dog, like, a Ouija board or something to, like, have it move and communicate with the dog of what it wants to eat?
Yes.
Like, no more biscuits.
Okay, I gotta get into the description of the dogs because one of these does not look like a dog.
Oh, God, does it have a human face?
No. Oh, that'd be terrifying.
Be so
okay.
ugly.
This is gonna be a long episode. We gotta keep going. We gotta push through. It said that the dog stood at a man's chest when standing on all fours. Its head got up to your chest. So very tall dogs.
Oh, so not quite Clifford, but we're getting there.
It said that Bran had a white chest and a sleeked back haunch, which now I know is like the area above their butt. I didn't know that. And black eyes. Sciolon had the eyes of a dragon, claws of a wolf, the strength of a lion, and the venom of a serpent.
That sounds familiar.
Well, I also just don't know why one's just like, he's a dog, he's white.
It's just Clifford, the big red dog.
The big white dog.
And then the big white dog. And then the other one is just like this demon
abomination.
What happened here?
I don't get it.
I don't think they had the same puppy mother.
Before I keep going, just know that everything about Fionn has a story behind it. If you're wondering about any little thing that he does in SMT, you could probably look it up and find the full story.
Except apparently for the thing you were complaining about between our break, about him repeatedly having to kiss his thumb in order to gain the knowledge.
We're not... I will go over the story of the Salmon of Knowledge. I can't even say it. It gets alternated between Salmon of Knowledge or Salmon of Wisdom. So...
Well, it had to be knowledge in SMT5 because it's just perfect,
I know.
you know.
He also has his famous sword, as we saw in SMT, and
Which I
as you were
forget how
talking
to
about,
say.
Mekonluin,
Mekonluin.
which translates to Son of the Spear.
You see, unlike Cumhaill, when Cumhaill uses his special attack, which is named after his weapon, he actually says out loud, Gay Bolg, which is kind of how I would want to say that anyway. Fionn never says anything. He doesn't say Mekonluin. He just goes, die, or something like that. I don't know. He's just like, Murakumo, because he might as well, because it's a freaking Murakumo he's hitting you with, and it hurts like hell.
I just found it funny that the name translates to Son of the Spear, because it's like a smaller spear in like a weird way. I don't know.
No, it's a two-handed sword. He's like a huge broadsword.
The sword comes from a story where he had to chase someone on the ocean for 10 days before catching this person. So Fionn had to make this sword, so sometimes it's called the Son of Waves. It's said that the sword never had to be swung twice, as it always killed in one blow.
Yeah, I believe it. It did. I think the first time I saw him, he critted me with frickin' Murakumo, and he got me in one hit, and I was like, are you kidding me?
I feel like you shouldn't stand a chance against him at all in SMT when I read about like his legends and stuff like that.
No, and if they're giving him the forbidden fruit knowledge temporarily, that makes him even stronger.
So now to understand Fionn, we need to start before he was born with the story of his family.
Okay.
So it's story time. Really long story time.
It's okay.
I'm going to have some direct quotes in here that are directly from the website houseoflegends.me. It was a very cool website. His story begins with his father, Cumhaill. Let me know if you want me to spell any of these names.
His dad was a cow?
Cumhaill.
Oh,
Cumhaill.
Okay. I did need a spelling there already. This is fun. Oh, that explains a lot.
Who was the captain until the High King of Ireland allied him against Suchet.
Suchet. The Suchet chef?
Suchet.
Suchet sounds delicious.
But his name's spelled like suck it. So Suchet.
Suck it and Cumhaill.
It's great.
And his father was a cow. Suck it and Cumhaill.
I feel like I need to start this quote over saying everything correctly, okay?
Oh, it's okay.
Do you want me to start over?
Go ahead.
Okay. His story begins with his father, Cal, who was captain until the High King of Ireland allied him against Suchet, his chief rival. A great battle followed in which Cal was killed and Suchet was blinded, earning him the nickname of Gaul, meaning blind. Now, this was all before Fionn was born. Just know that. So, his dad is dead.
Okay. Wait, what?
Did you not listen to me?
Wait, I understand, but I'm like, wait a minute. Right, his father was a cow, and his cow was killed, and then...
By a sous chef.
By a sous chef who is now blind.
Correct.
Okay. Suck it is now blind.
End quote. I just feel like...
Yeah. Wait, so the rest of that was all in the quote?
That was all in the quote,
No.
and I could not find a way to shorten it, so I thought I would just read it.
Okay.
So fearing that Fionn would be killed by Gaul, once he was born, his mother gave him to two women, a hunter and a druid, to raise in the wilds. Now, shame on me, I did not look up the names of the hunter and the druid because I did not want to say any more.
We can just say the hunter and the druid, and we get you.
Did not want to say more Irish names.
Irish names are hard, man. They're probably the hardest in the world.
So he's getting raised in the wild. Fionn eventually learns of his father's fate and set out to find Gaul and become the captain himself. And that's really where his story starts and where you get into the first major stories of him with the Fianna and things like that. So I'm sure you want to hear about the Salmon of Wisdom.
Yes, I do.
Or the Salmon of Knowledge,
That's
whichever one you prefer to go with.
The one thing that I know.
I just feel so dumb saying that because I've seen how salmon act. And now I'm wondering, like, okay, maybe the salmon's not smart. Maybe he just gives you the smart.
Yeah, salmon, it's very good for your brain health, isn't it?
Oh, that's true.
It's very good for you.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's just a great thing to eat, like, in general.
Yeah, it's really good for your brain.
It's, like, one of the best meals
Oh
you
my
can have
gosh,
for your
did
body.
we just, like, unlock a new lore about salmon?
So, well, I mean, the old stories like this usually were for trying to, one, entertain people, but also to teach them important things, like when to harvest their crops, when certain parts of the year they need to do certain things.
You're not going to know in the 12th century how salmon affects your brain fine if
No,
you eat
but
it.
they might know that one person who ate lots of fish was healthier than another person who didn't.
Okay,
and they might
maybe.
be like telling a story to say like, okay, when he taps this salmon, he got extra knowledge or something. Not like, look at this stupid fish jumping in the bear's mouth. Isn't it funny?
That's all I can think about. Well, and then their mating rituals. Very weird. Weird salmon.
Salmon are just odd creatures. They're also ugly. Man, they're ugly fish.
So, on to the salmon of knowledge. I have shortened it to the best of my ability, but I did leave in a few quotes from the direct original text. So this is probably his most famous story, clearly, if he's licking his thumb in SMT, right?
He's kissing his thumb now to make it a little more sexy. He gives it a little smolder each time, too.
In the Boyne River, there lived a salmon of knowledge. It was said that the first person to taste the fish would become the wisest man. Finnegas was a very learned man in Ireland, and for 7 years tried to catch this fish. Fionn had come to live with Finnegas. Unaware of the legend, he questioned why Finnegas would spend his time fishing, and Finnegas gave no answer. One day, while Fionn was living with him, Finnegas had caught the fish. Finnegas had asked Fionn to cook the fish, because Finnegas was feeling tired. So he'd asked him to cook the fish.
I mean, he was just fishing for 7 years, so
Yeah.
give him a break.
And warned him not to eat any of it. While Fionn was cooking it over the fire, he went to turn the fish, and its hot skin burned his thumb. Immediately, Fionn put his thumb in his mouth. And, quote, in that moment, like a tidal wave that covers the land and tears apart everything in its path, all knowledge was revealed to Fionn. He had heard the mutterings of the trees and the songs of the stars. He felt the beatings of wings in every bird in the sky, and the great beasts of the seabed gazed into his eyes. Sunfire burned in his blood. He knew every mind's desire, every heart's secret. He witnessed the birth and death of gods. He served Finnegas the fish, and Finnegas asked him if he ate the fish. He said no, but Finnegas could tell he was blessed with the fish's wisdom. Finnegas was sad that he would never be the wisest man in Ireland, but was happy for Fionn. Soon after that, Fionn left. And this story is so silly, and we said that all very straight-faced.
Well, yeah, it's a silly story. So I'm assuming the first person to lick
Yes.
this gets
Did
the
I not
ability.
say that?
You might have. It might have been the very beginning of the legend. I had
Yes,
forgotten.
was said that the first person to taste the fish would be the wisest man.
Okay, so Fionn didn't know that story at all, and so he happens to be the first one to taste it. So I guess since it's a burn on his hand and he's got like a scar, he gets like a little bit of aftertaste and give it a little, kiss, just to, get him a little taste, just a little.
He's trying to cool off his thumb really quick. You burn your thumb.
Oh yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you listen to that quote about all this wisdom that's blessed on him. He does not need to keep licking his thumb or whatever he's doing.
It doesn't say if it fades or anything. I don't
No,
know.
it just says you're the wisest man in Ireland. I don't know if that makes you the wisest man ever.
Considering what it was describing, like you understood every flap of every bird's wing, the inside of stars, every emotion in everyone's heart across the world, and there are people smarter than this? And, like, this is, you're just the smartest man in Ireland. Just Ireland.
I don't know. That's just how it was worded. So there is one more story I do want to go over if you have any more thoughts about the Salmon of Knowledge story.
I still think that in SMT they were going with capital K knowledge, and they just interpreted this salmon story as a convenient thing that used the word knowledge, because in one of the instances of what I read, they did use a capital K in his quote, and I think it was like the first time they say it, and then they start using lowercase k, so they even go back and forth in their own in there, so I'm not sure, but I'm fairly certain that's what they wanted it to do, and it sounds like the kind of a backstory that they could write into a lore description, like this has just happened to be their favorite of the stories because it was the most relevant.
It's the most famous story, I think.
Okay, that's good.
So
I kind of thought that his revenge story against the guy who killed his father was going to be like the most famous
surprisingly,
story.
no. There's a lot of silly things that happen to him. So it is one of his most famous stories. There's a lot of famous stories. I'm going to go over one more of them.
Okay.
But if you want to, you can always feel free to go find it. Apparently, he is very famous in Ireland. And if we lived over there, we would have known who this character was. So if we see like a map of where SMT characters are most popular, he'd probably be over there just like in the US loves Mothman.
He won this popularity contest, and I was really surprised. Alongside Eden, who's another brand new SMT5 demon.
Yeah.
I was really surprised to see those win. But then, Mothman number 1. Yeah, go Mothman.
Can't wait till we get to Mothman. I love talking about Mothman.
I have a plan for Mothman.
So, as I was saying, there is one more story I do want to go over because I think it informs a little bit more of his SMT design, and that's why I kind of picked it out. So, one day, Sabha came to Fionn in the shape of a deer. She was cursed by the She, again, those evil fae. She eventually regains her human form and has a hot and heavy love affair with Fionn.
As a deer?
No! I said she regains her form.
Oh, okay.
Regains her human form. Calm down. Calm down. I know you wanted to listen to some sex with a deer, but
I didn't. No, I was scared.
I guess they also got married during this time, from my
there's a lot of close call bestiality moments in this episode. I was hoping we'd get through this without anyone having sex with an animal.
No one did. They had sex before they were turned into an animal or after they were turned into an animal. While Fionn is away fighting, the She steals Sabha back and turns her back into a deer. Oh, also, do we want to know how Sabha is spelled?
S-A-B-B-A-B-B-A-B-B-A.
S-A-B-H-A.
Oh, well, that's exactly what I would expect.
So while she's a deer, she gives birth to Oshin, Fionn's son, as a deer.
Meaning he's a deer. Because that's how it worked with the dogs earlier.
Apparently not.
But that just...
From my understanding. I didn't look into it as much as I probably should have, but...
Well, that means he's a deer. Remember the curse thing we just went over?
Well, eventually...
We have a canon.
Eventually, after Sabha raises Oshin in the woods, he eventually does find Fionn, and they have their own little adventures.
But, wait a minute. Was she a deer the whole time as she raised him?
Yes.
That's so silly.
It's the Fae. The Fae have a great sense of humor, as we're going to be finding out. They just love turning people into whatever they want to. That's what I've learned from this story. Beware the Fae, because they can do whatever they want, and they're very silly people.
So this deer gave birth to a human, and then proceeded to raise the human. So it
in the forest.
In the forest. So it nursed the human.
I think maybe we need to look it up just to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure he was born a human.
Okay.
Not a deer.
Let's try fact check.
Yep, it's a human.
So his mother was currently a deer, and he was born as a human.
Correct.
Oh my god. And then, did she ever turn back?
I don't know. I stopped reading about her after that.
Okay, I understand. You were getting into the weeds at that point, but that's just gross.
I spent a really long time reading the story about how he has dog cousins. I read that whole story because I was like, how? And I did not even include all of it. I spent so long reading that story.
It's just so concerned if you have dog cousins.
I had to know. I read the whole thing.
Your brother's a deer.
No.
He is...
His son
He was born...
is a human child. This is
born
his
of a
son.
Deer. He was born of a deer. Oh, his son, right.
This is his son.
His son is a deer.
But I think that might be why he has antlers on his helmet. That was my whole point of my story.
You think his brother molts them and he's just like,
I don't know. I thought SMT was just referencing it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Or he's into deer.
Clearly.
I think he's sexually attracted to deer.
And last, I should bring up the death of Fionn, which isn't really death. He doesn't die.
So he is a demigod.
It's said that he sleeps in a cave defended by the Fionnia until he is needed to defend Ireland again. This is why I don't think he should null sleep. He clearly likes sleep.
Oh, because he
sleeps until he's needed. That's all. I mean, that's the end of like his story. End of the Fina cycle, or what I was talking about. At the end of the literature. So Fionn has a very rich narrative history. So there's plenty of stories involving him and the Fianna, and like there was like a hostage scandal one that I read all about that I did not even include in here. They're very entertaining stories. And I would encourage people, anybody who likes lore or mythology, especially Irish mythology. Or Ireland, just go look it up. Enjoy reading some stories about people getting randomly turned into animals and having sex with animals. No, that's not right.
having children as animals and being transformed into animals while pregnant.
Yes, that keeps happening. So, does he show up in anything today? He is apparently all over the place.
No, really?
In Ireland.
Oh, well, okay. He just showed up in SMT.
I know, it's crazy, and it doesn't make any sense. So let's see. In literature, there is a street ballad from 1939 called Finnegan's Wake.
Ballad?
And yeah, a street ballad. But it's from the 1940s, so that's kind of odd. There is also a comic called At Swim Two Birds from the same year, 1939. There's a book from 1994 called Finn McCool, reiterating his stories and things like that.
How's that spelled?
Finn McCool. Finnmaccool.
Oh, really? Hey, we're trying to censor him, huh?
No more Cumhaill.
They probably don't draw him with nipples anymore either.
Yeah, probably not. That's only in Japan. Ireland, they might like their nipples. I don't know.
That's true. They might like their hair over there, too.
So, and then that story is just really depicting, epic battles from his stories, and that's 1994, so that's not even that long ago. That's after we were born.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember being
You remember being born.
I was born from a deer.
It's also...
How could I forget?
So, if you travel there, you're also going to hear him come up a lot in, tour groups and things like that. It said that he built the Giant's Causeway to act as Scotland's stepstones.
It had nothing to do with just how minerals form.
No.
No, okay.
It said that he also flung some dirt at somebody, and it missed, and it created the Isle of Man.
That's some dirt. Wait, Isle of Man?
Yeah. The Isle of Man. It's like a set of islands off the coast of Ireland.
I haven't heard of that one. So
Okay.
instead of having a man cave, he has a man island.
Oh, but he actually does have a cave next to the Giant's
Is that the one
Causeway.
he sleeps in forever?
Well, no, and I was
Until he's
surprised
needed?
by that. I was surprised by that. It's called Fionn's Cave or something like that. I didn't include that one because I was like, well, it's in the Giant's Causeway. So there's a lot of places like that all over Ireland. It's not just those few that I mentioned. You're going to throw a stone and you're going to find something about Fionn McCool while you're over there.
So it's almost like he's secondary or possibly even primary character over there after Cumhaill.
After Cumhaill, yeah, I would say so.
Yikes. It's like
And not leprechauns, maybe?
This is like they did Norse mythology in SMT, and they always had Loki, and they were missing Thor for some reason.
I don't know.
It's
He's
just
really,
what?
really big over there, And SMT is the only game that he appears in. I am shocked by that. I was shocked because he is such a popular Irish character now. Is it just because we're not getting video games out of Ireland? I don't know.
No Final Fantasy mess ups or no Castlevania.
No Castlevania. Nope.
Well, he's a human character.
He's a human character.
Yeah, he's not a monster. Yeah.
Okay, so here comes my big conspiracy that I talked to you about earlier. I think Link is Fionn McCool. Okay, hear me out.
All right.
Hear me out. Blonde,
Sure.
wearing a green tunic, which most of the depictions of Fionn, he's in a green tunic of some
Attractive
sort.
elf boy.
Exactly. Raised in the forest.
Sure. Doesn't have a fairy.
Guardian of the land. Could have a fairy. I don't know. Gets in trouble with Fae a lot.
Trouble with sure.
And sleeps in a cave for a really long time.
You Breath of the Wild until he's needed.
Oh, and he has a special sword.
That will likely kill you.
Or maybe
in one
that's
hit.
just how all wild men are. Link is feral, so that's my theory. I'm throwing it out there.
Okay.
I think he was inspired by Fionn McCool.
Considering the first game and how little you said actually comes from that game, I don't think so. No.
Well, they can be inspired later in life, can't they?
I mean, sure, I feel like Link was supposed to be inspired to be transgender in Breath of the Wild, because they showed him off first looking like a boy and a girl kind of at the same time. Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. They want everyone to be able to relate to this character, because they want to make sure the character is more ambiguous looking. That's a great idea. And no, then they start calling him he.
I know, but then, that's why I like the Nahabino, because I kind of feel the same way about that character.
Well, unfortunately, everyone refers to the Nahabino as he. However, that could just be the pronouns that Nahabino has chosen, because honestly, you look at Nahabino or just the protagonists of SMT5, the character, and they absolutely look like they're a transgender character.
Yeah, they look totally neutral to me.
Yeah, they look totally gender neutral. So I was hoping, oh, yes, we're going to have a character that's supposed to be, totally open for all sorts of people, and I wouldn't care. I mean, have you seen their hair? It is fabulous, honey. It's supposed to be so nice, it's going to make the women jealous anyway, right? So who cares? It's not a big deal.
No,
but
it's not.
No, I'm still not seeing Fionn as Link. Well, that's a question for the comments.
That was my... I just want to hear... That was my crazy theory after reading way too many stories that I didn't even get to include in here. That is pretty much the main stories. I loved learning about Mr. Cumhaill. Yeah, I had to say Cumhaill again.
Just one last opportunity.
Yeah.
Cumhaill.
So, so after all that information, what are you thinking about this character? Because I think he's like a really important character, and I am shocked he's not in anything else.
I want to shower.
After all the cum?
Yeah. Get it out of my hair. No, like, if anything, I feel like you just got to scratch the surface on his lore, and we didn't really get to, like, learn all of it, because it really did sound like we sat down to make an episode, and I asked you, can you tell me who is Spider-Man? And you were just like, well, there's a robot octopus he fights, an electric dude, and some other weird stuff. There's sometimes other villains who are from other stories who show up, and it's really weird and doesn't make sense, and if you read all of them, everything's backwards. He doesn't even seem like the main character anymore. I don't know what's happening. His relatives die and then come back to life. He dies, comes back to life. There's alternate versions and alternate timelines, and it's completely bogus and doesn't make any sense. Thanks for listening.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I could have gotten into Leon Shi, and I could have gotten into Cumhaill,
who both deserve full episodes.
Skahak. Which I didn't want to get into because they're demons, and I know we're going to talk about them. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like, I could have talked more about Sabha, his wife, who they had hot, sexy affair. That's really all I got from that. She's a deer.
But wasn't a deer at the time.
Well, was not a deer at the time.
It was different. It was for different times. She looked totally different before we were married.
And it just said that was like his most famous wife, so I don't know how many times he's been married. No idea.
And how many times it happened to be with an animal.
And his dog cousins. That was probably the weirdest fact I learned in this.
He didn't have sex with his dog cousins, did he?
No, he didn't have sex with his dog cousins.
You just kind of implied it.
I felt weird researching this because it took me a very long time to figure out if she was pregnant with the baby before she was turned into a dog, or something happened while she was a dog. It took me a very long time to figure out.
I'm so glad you clarified that, because you knew I was going to ask that question.
I had to clarify it because I was confused and I needed to know this was important information.
All right, well, that was a bit of a doozy, but be sure to tune into the next episode where we will summon a new demon that begins with the letter G. Let us know what your favorite demon is that begins with G and what you thought of this episode. We would love to hear from you. You can find me online at HamsterBomb on YouTube, where I host a long list of Let's Plays, reviews, and live streams. Thank you all so much for listening. Take care not to let the demons possess you while you sleep, and we will see you all in the next episode. Booyah!
Bye-bye.